Good morning. Optimization. Fancy word. The body is our body, our psyche. We are designed to learn from our experiences. We are the result of thousands of successful generations of evolution. We're the ones that made it. Congratulations. Fist bump. So we don't have to make a project out of learning. That just gets in the way. Because the deepest parts of our nervous system, top to bottom, is wired to adjust and learn from experience. The more you think, the more you have ideas about it. It's going to happen, but don't make it central. Don't make it a project. Just take in the experience. Sit with it, feel it, some digesting, spending some time afterwards, maybe if it was new, is a great idea. But the basic idea is you just have the experience and you'll learn from it. So we're always optimizing for whatever we do regularly. Even if we've done something once, we're going to optimize a little bit, which means at first that we get better at it. But past a certain point, we stop. We may continue to get better at it, but we start getting worse at other things. If it's the same thing over and over and over again, unless we're able to hold a very particular state as we do it. That's very broad. So most of the time, it's really something to sort of be on guard for. If you're doing something physical, do physical training of some sort, you need to vary it. You will actually improve faster, and most strength and conditioning guys know this well. You will improve faster by varying your routine at the right pace than you will by doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. That there is a point of diminishing returns. The nervous system knows what's happening. It's not new input anymore. We plateau. And then after a while, we start actually becoming less resilient. And you see that a lot with athletes that are training hard, but right on the edge of injury all the time. And sometimes this shows up in ways that aren't even so obvious because perhaps we have a certain way that we approach a life situation, or a certain way that we walk, or a certain way that we go about certain things. And those things too, those habits, are places of, eventually, if never challenged, they're places of rigidity. And that's a problematic thing. I'm a teacher who says, if you live by habit, you are a soldier. You're living as a soldier. If you let go of habits, you're living the life of a king. Choice. A habit is a place where you have given up choice. Something happens. You're in a certain circumstance, something happens automatically. You receive a certain input, something happens. And where people talk about executive function and exhausting yourself and all these things, habits are good because they don't deplete your executive function. Well, I believe that that's only true if you are cognitively trying to work through everything in your day. You are actually trying to mentally decide using the sort of the forebrain, the logical part of your mind. I think that's a bad idea. Feel. There is a part of us, most of our nervous system is making literally trillions of little decisions per second about our endocrine system, about our circulatory system, about our nervous system, about all sorts of things. And that's not a problem. That's the way we work. So, if you'd like to have some freedom and yet not exhaust yourself, why don't you let that part of you do more of the work? I think in movement and in life, one of the best skills we can develop is to learn to set an intention to make maybe a higher level choice and then get out of the way. If I want to walk across the room, I decide to go there, to go over there. And I allow my body to accomplish it at a very basic level. I'm not trying to feel my balance. I'm not trying to work anything out. I experience walking as an observer. My breath. I love observing my breathing. And I'll do things, to practice certain stuff and develop capacities and things like that. But in general, observing. This is going to happen. I don't need to do it. It's not a mental activity from my will. I think the will gets exhausted, so don't use it all the time. You don't have to. Be soft enough to just make choices, adjust, adapt without that tension in the nervous system. So that part of the nervous system is not so well wired to control everything else. It should make those small little keystone like, this is what's important, that's what's important. Or even those things come from a feeling place, values, So, the lesson, if there is one, the perspective, vary things. Let yourself take in what's happening and don't fall into trying to live in understanding. I think that's sort of the underlying story of optimization. Working in a way that works for a mind that is trying to control life. That's when optimization is less than helpful. When we allow ourselves to be present and fluid and soft, it ceases to become a problem. We start optimizing for being present. We start optimizing for adapting. Optimizing for finding the resource and the pleasure in any moment. Finding the possibility. That's what I like to optimize for. So, hope that helps.